if you'll turn off your, I know. The first section of Launchpad is first, it gets 5 classes, 5 or 6 classes will be everything having to do with lead generation. Now, it's not going to take you in depth on everything because this is 15 weeks of foundation. And so we're going to touch on all these topics. And then throughout the year, we go in deeper, especially on lead gen. We go into each lead gen topic in depth in our other course called Lead Gen 3612-3, which is the course that we did the last part of last year. So many of you were part of that when we were focusing on the different forms of lead generation to get business and to build your business. So today on Monday, we talked about, what did we talk about?
10-5, daily 10-5.
Yeah, the daily 10-5. What is it, Tyler? Contacts and command. It was all about building good business habits. Because if we don't have good business habits, remember what it says, and you can see it on there. If it's not on your calendar, it does not exist. It's not about it's not about selling real estate. It's about following a schedule. Being self-employed is lovely and dangerous, like I said on Tuesday. You can have your own schedule. And guess what I see a lot of times? I see a pretty loose schedule. I see people wanting to get into real estate and build a successful business, but they're only putting 15 or 20 hours in. And they say this is their full-time job. You're going to have to treat it like it is your full-time job. Edgar, when you started your other business, did you work 10 hours a week and build that business?
10 hours a week? No.
Did you work more like 60 maybe?
6 hours more than 6 hours a week.
Yeah. So getting a business off the ground takes a lot of heavy lifting. And some of you are also juggling other jobs and families and what have you. So it's painful at times. It's going to be a lot. This one gets up at 3 in the morning for her other job. I'm still dealing with that for you.
Not every day.
I couldn't even do it half of the time.
I sleep, I promise.
I certainly hope so. I would have to sleep a lot. That would just do me in. And today we're going to focus on database. Remember, we've talked before about how important your database is. Your database is your most important business asset. But before we get into database, let's all check in. If you will do, the QR code should be on your screen. So get out your phones and check in. This is Launchpad.
It's on, Kristen. Do you have Zoom up?
Olivia, yeah, you need to get on Zoom and then you'll be able to see what we're doing. Do you need the link? Okay, good deal. I thought since you're
Memorized. So the code part. Just punch in the number.
So everybody, please register here. I see you coming on. If you'll just mute yourself, that would be great. Okay, everybody get all checked in. This is Launchpad. Put in the date. You're good. Okay, good deal. Okay, let's get into this. You know, we talk a lot here in the beginning about get everybody in here in your database, get everybody in here in your database. I don't want to give you a false impression that you get everybody in your database and boom, you're done. This is literally, your database is a living, breathing business asset. It's like if you owned, let's say you owned a restaurant. Well, could you have a restaurant without a kitchen? You can't have a successful real estate business without a vital, living, breathing database that is filled with good quality data. So it's not just getting somebody's name and maybe just their phone number in there. It's about having the most data. Why do you think now AI is now direct competition? But if we go back before AI, which how long has AI been here? A year, 2 years?
About like 2 years.
About 2 years, but really in the last year, boom, right? Yeah, the people, yeah, the more of the general population is aware of it. It's but before that, Google. Why do you and most people were using Google for all of their searches, right? Right? I didn't use Bing. I didn't use the other ones. I went to Google. Why did we go to Google? What did Google have the most of?
Search engine power, right?
The
Data.
information, the
Yeah,
data.
exactly. You can Google, if it says Google it and you'll get whatever you need
They have
to
the
know.
data.
And all the data.
They have all the data. That's what made it so powerful. So I want you thinking about your database will be powerful when it has all the data. Here, Irene. Good morning.
Morning.
Good. How are you? Come on in. You are good. When it's Thursday after Wednesday Night Warriors, I feel like I just saw all of you. All of you that came on Wednesday Night Warriors, I feel like, well, we didn't really part, did we? So, does that make sense? So, this is so powerful, and it's only powerful if you're feeding it, taking care of it, and building it. So, that's what we're talking about today, and that's what we'll talk about next week because this database, we take 2 classes to go over this. So, with your database, it equals your business. And Irene, we're having to get on Zoom to see the slides because I can't cast this morning. I'm sorry. I didn't know until usually it's fine, but there's something, if it doesn't show on my casting screen, it's not available to me. So something's down on that. So what we're trying to do is we're feeding that database new business, right? We're feeding it repeat business. And you all don't have repeat business yet, but you will. And you're feeding it referral business because you want to get to the point that you have a referral only business. And a referral only business is working with people you know and then referring people to you so that there's always a connection. Now, that doesn't mean you won't work with strangers ever once you build a really solid referral only business. Just means you won't have to chase strangers the way you sometimes have to here in the beginning when you're new. Now, if you want an exceedingly big business, like maybe a millionaire income business, then you're going to have to always be adding a good clip of strangers because you've got to have all of those names. So remember, we talked about your contacts yesterday or Tuesday. It feels like yesterday, but Tuesday per 100 contacts, how much business could you potentially have? Tyler's about to say it.
Well,
He's calculating it.
20?
Well, from 100 contacts. Remember, it was showing you that progression on that chart. You make 50 contacts a week, and in a month you're going to have 200, then 600. Then it was building up to where you could have the potential of 12 transactions. Yeah, like one with 100 contacts. So in order to have 100 contacts, you have to have them in your database or be meeting those new people and putting them in your database, right? So I thought that was a really good graph because it gave you the progression of it takes the activity to get there. It's not just going to magically, it does not rain, like the old saying, money doesn't grow on trees and leads don't grow on trees either. So no, if you don't have a good, thriving, data-rich database, then you're not going to have a sustainable business. right? It's not, your database is definitely your most valuable asset. And I call it the gold in your pocket. It says here, your gold mine in your pocket. And too many agents in their careers neglect their database. They never make it a habit that they're touching it on a regular basis, not physically touching, connecting with it on a regular basis. That's what gets people coming to you and coming back to you, is because you're in relationship with them and you're communicating with them on a regular basis in order to have them think of you and reach out to you when it's time for them to do something. Where does your database fit? Well, in lead generation, you're always bringing in new people, client and referral loop, your future business, relationship management. So it is, like I said, it is not a one and done. You just don't get everybody here into there and then you're done. You're always, always feeding it.
Sorry, do you need me?
Yes, but I'm gonna pass because it probably be too disruptive.
Is it-
It's not casting. I can't see it on the casting list. So just an FYI. So it fits in big time in your business. Actually, when we have you do your business plan, and there's that tab, that 135 tab, about what three forms of lead gen you're going to focus on the most to build your business. What's the one thing that you cannot eliminate on that list? Of the lead gen topics, what is the one thing? That's what we're talking about right now.
Keeping up with your database.
Your database. Your database has to be one of your forms of lead generation. And some of you are going to say, well, but I don't have that many people. Well, you're going to be building it to where it is going to give you the return that you're going to want. And you don't want to start 5 years from now building a database. You start now with whatever you have, and then you'll see how far do I have to go? How much do I need to grow my database in order that I can have enough people in there to actually have business, right? So that's what it's about. The size of your database will be reflected in the size of your bank account. So what exactly is a real estate database? It's your relationship hub. I know I keep looking up
I know
there
me
like
too.
there's going to be slides up there.
Constructive.
I know we're so used to looking up there and the slides being up there. It's a space to nurture and grow your people. That's what's so important, is you're going to be able to do that. It's a connection management. It means,
You have a sec, try it again, maybe.
okay, let me, okay, hold on one sec, people. I'm going to try to cast for us here in the room. Hopefully. Yep, now it's on there. Okay, yay. Now we can be looking there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. He's magic. You're probably thinking it was there. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. It just knew the Brett was coming on. Okay. Somebody needs to turn off their.
Yeah, yeah. Easier if everybody just gets off.
Well, you don't have to. You just have to.
I totally just did.
Okay, that's fine.
I jumped out.
That's fine. That's
Okay.
fine. When you're in here, that's fine. Let me get rid of that screen and then there we go. Okay. So it's your connection management. It's your relationship gold mine. And I know I'm being redundant right now, but I cannot impress, we cannot impress on you enough about how important this is. Because you'll get easily distracted. Most of us, there's a saying in real estate, if you don't have ADHD yet,
sure.
You will being in real estate. And I think it's kind of about being self-employed.
Mhm.
Remember how all the hats we talked about that you wear? Yeah, don't count them. You'll be a little overwhelmed at how many hats you wear now because you're the CEO, the CFO. You're the director of marketing. You're the director of sales. You are the operating person. You're also the project manager. You're the gopher. You're the admin. You wear so many hats that it's hard not to get distracted. That's why we spent time at Wednesday Night Warriors on time blocking your calendar. That's why we talked about if it's not on your schedule, it does not exist on Tuesday, because truly you being able to manage your time well when you're self-employed, it is rarely easy. Would you agree, Edgar?
Absolutely.
Well, Edgar has the challenge right now of running his construction business and starting up his real estate business, and it's not easy.
Nope. It's adding more hats.
It's adding more hats.
I'm collection right now.
Is your wall just got all these hats on it? So it's a lot, and that's the reason I keep emphasizing how important this is. And it's got to be organized. So how many of you consider yourself a really organized person?
I do. Yeah, but.
It's my survival. I have to have everything tidy and orderly. For those of you who aren't, how many don't feel like organization is like their natural habitat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's not a good or a bad.
Mm.
It's just you're going to also have to recognize where you're going to have challenges being self-employed.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because there are none of us that are going to wear every single hat perfectly, because we all have challenges and we all have strengths and they're all different. So don't get down on yourself. Like when we do the Keller personality assessment with you, and some of you'll say, we have everybody do a personality assessment that is geared towards your strengths and challenges in real estate. Okay. And people say, well, how'd I do? Well, there's not a good or a bad. All it's going to do is help us identify when we put it into the analysis tool and come up with an action plan with you. It's going to just focus on what you're really good at and what you should focus on. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to be good in real estate. It just means, well, on this area right here, that might be challenging for you. So if organization is not something that it's not your natural habitat and not natural for you, then you're going to have to find tools or ways to be organized, because when you're under a transaction, when we get to the contract to close process, there are so many steps to check off that you can't miss any. You can screw up the whole transaction if you miss one thing, or you can get yourself or your client in legal trouble over one thing that you miss. You don't want that to happen. Now, is it going to happen in your career? Yes, it does. But you don't want to happen every transaction. So, and there will come a point, in your first year, you're pretty much doing everything yourself. Now remember, after you close 4 transactions in the launch program, then we will provide you for free until you hit the end of your 12 months, transaction coordination support. And that means our transaction coordination team, you would get your own transaction coordinator who would do all your contract paperwork. And once you get to be really busy, it is a lovely thing. Some of you might say, well, I love the paperwork. Yeah, I was good at the paperwork, but I was spending way too much time doing that when I should have been doing dollar productive activities. And when you get busy, again, those many hats, when you get busy, you can't wear them all. You're going to have to give some hats to other people. to where. It's just in the beginning, you don't have money to pay those people. So you're wearing every single hat yourself, but that's good because you need to learn all the different roles. You should never turn over a role to someone that you don't understand what it is. That's why we require you to write those 4 transactions, do all of that paperwork yourself before you can hand that over. Because if you don't understand the paperwork, you're not going to know if your transaction coordinator did it wrong or did it right.
Actually, something that I learned, is when you learn everything, like on my industry, I think it's some advantage I have is like there is a situation where you have to go back again to do something,
Mhm.
because things change. And when you know your business and when you know every single thing, it makes it a lot easier to go back and do something that you're not used to do again because you're busy on the big dollar task. But then when you have to go to cover someone and
Mhm.
you know that, it just feels a lot easier to go back and get it done.
Definitely. Probably also you can see if something's wrong quicker
Yeah, you can go back and check everybody or
and say,
check this.
whoa, what were you
thing.
doing here?
And it's funny, because when I go back and, I have the guys working doing some repair or installation, they get surprised that I know everything about it. They sometimes they don't know, like, oh,
Yeah.
he's just the owner. He doesn't know
Right.
any of the stuff. We know.
You don't know what we're doing.
Like, oh, you don't know where to start.
But that's good. That's why you all want to learn all of this, even if, because some of you are going to say, I hate paperwork. I hate the contracts. Well, you got to know the contracts, but you can hand over the paperwork. So when you hand over the paperwork, you're not handing over the responsibility of understanding what's in the contract, ever.
Checking.
You have to always check what your transaction coordinator does because the ultimate responsibility is you. Now, our team, they're phenomenal, but can they make a mistake on occasion, just like we can make a mistake? So just know that's what's so important. That database is also a comprehensive record of your communications with everybody in it. So when I was doing recruiting, for the last 13 years, I would average 200 appointments a year of talking to people interested in getting their license. Do you think I remembered everybody? No. But I took notes the whole time during the interview and they went in command. So if that person, because in the licensing process, there are people actually I talked to maybe 3 years ago, the first time they were interested in getting their license, because sometimes it's all about timing. It can take a while before you actually go and do it. I wouldn't remember all of our conversations, but I could go into command. I could see, oh yeah, her grandmother had investment property. Oh yeah, she wants to be able to do the same. Oh yeah, she also has she's also a nurse. I mean, I could see all of those notes so that I didn't have to kind of like fake it and yeah. So that's why it's so important that you have all those records because how do you keep a relationship tight if you don't remember anything about them? Like for clients, I wanted to know their dog's name, their kids' names, their kids' birthdays, all of that I would have in my database. If I knew what their wedding anniversary was, those types of things, so that I could say, or I would see it on social media and then add that to my database. Oh, they're celebrating their anniversary today. See what I'm saying? Because then that makes you able, they know that you're paying attention to them. If you just treat them like a commodity, it'll feel that way to them, or at least to most of them. They'll be like, Tyler just wants my business. He doesn't really care about me. And then the automation that a database system allows you to have is so critical. Because remember what I said, when you get busy, you're not going to be able to manage everything yourself. And you have to have things that help you communicate on a regular basis with people. That it never replaces, a smart plan never replaces you actually personally reaching out to these people or talking to them or seeing them, but it fills in the gaps for when you're not talking to them. Does that make sense? Ideally, you want to talk, and we'll touch on this on next week. But ideally, you want to be talking to them either by phone or in person quarterly. Because there's nothing like the personal touch. Now, I get it. There are going to be some people that are never going to pick up their phone, so that's going to be a text message. I'm not naive to think that everybody's going to pick up their phone. But we know there's something a lot more sticky about someone either seeing you or hearing your voice, right? More personal. Here are the 4 laws to have a thriving database. Build a database, get names into your system, and always be adding your name. So when you do open houses, those names need to be going into your database. If not, then you're going to maybe, because some of you are going to use little sign-in sheets, and you're going to carry those around with you to follow up with people. And pretty soon those are going to get behind something or lost or crumpled or coffee spilled on what have you, and you don't have them on anything automated, right? So you need to have those people make sure that you're in that habit. And that's why time blocking time every week to be in your database and working on it, either tagging it or getting it up to date. You're going to feed it every day. That's that consistent touching people and adding information to it. Communicate with it systematically. And part of that has to be automation. It has to be. Again, you can't do everything. You can't do all of it. And then you're going to service all those leads. You're going to be prompt and effective with follow-up. You know there are a lot of other agents out there. You know how many there are in Kansas City? No, that's okay, Tyler.
I check actually.
How many agents do you think there are in Kansas City? Irene, with all your committee work, you know.
KCRAR says there's 13,000 realtors in the region.
Wow.
13,000.
I don't know about in, well.
No, they're in there,
realtors.
in KCRAR, there are 13,000.
They're for
members.
agents, but they're the realtors that are there.
Guess,
Should be an agent, not.
That's a lot.
oh, guess how many there were when I was an agent? 14,000.
Wow.
Or
14,000, because everybody and their brother. So there were more agents when 20 years ago. Now, when 2007 hit and the economy crashed and the housing market crashed, it went down to like 7 or 8,000. 12 to 13 is pretty steady number throughout the years.
How many were real estate agents in the area in like 2012 and 13?
Probably about 10 to 12,000.
so it's gone back up a little.
Yeah, it goes, according to the market. Now, I'll tell you right now, it was higher during COVID. Because it's been slower and a harder market in the last 2 years, that's why it hasn't grown past the 13,000. But do you understand though that most of like 50% of those people are part-time and don't even do a deal, or maybe only do 1 or 2 deals a year? So I don't ever want you to get it in your head that there isn't room for you, because there is. But I want you to know there are enough agents out there that if you aren't prompt and you don't do your follow-up quickly with people, they will go find somebody else. I don't care how much they like you. I don't care how much you bonded at that open house and you now feel like you're best friends. If you don't get back to them quickly, they will not wait for you. Does that make sense? They won't wait for you. And the reason is this: we live in a society, we want things now. How many times do you text somebody and you're mad at them because they didn't get back to you in like 2 minutes? Like, where are they? Right? Happens. So just your impatience at instant answers is the same for most consumers. So that's where that servicing all leads, when you're wearing all those hats and you're in a meeting, and a lead is calling you and you can't get back to them, or you're showing properties. So when I was with a client, like showing properties, I would say to my buyer, I'm yours for the time we had scheduled for the next 2 hours. I'm yours. I would tell them if I was like negotiating a contract or things were going on, I would say, normally I don't take any calls with a client. However, I'm negotiating for our buyers. It's fine because it's close enough and it's quiet out there.
Yeah.
And I'm negotiating an offer for some other clients. I hope you'll be okay if I take a call if it is relating to that, because I'll do the same for you when we're negotiating. So I asked for their permission to take a call. Otherwise, I'm not taking any calls when I'm with my client.
Right.
What do? It's hard. It's hard. You're like, you're
And your
like,
family will forget. My mom will call me around 11 o'clock. And Mom, I'm in training every Thursday. Blah, blah, blah. She doesn't remember.
Yeah.
You'll have to help your family with that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
Not interrupt you.
yeah, because they will. My daughter will blow me up, and I'll be like, she now knows what my schedule is, but there'd be times she'd be like, and I'd be like, oh, I'm teaching. And she's like, oh, forgot. So remember, servicing all leads, it sounds easy, but it won't always be easy. So I want to prepare you for these things so that you're not like surprised or overwhelmed when all of this starts coming at you and you're like, how do I do all this? That's where systems are going to be your savior. I'm going to recommend that you all read or listen to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. That's Gary Keller's book on how to build a real estate business. It's also where all of our training material comes from. It's all related to that book. But it is an important book because it's really showing you step by step, how do you build a millionaire business, meaning you would net, not gross, $1 million. And he says if you follow the systems and models in that book, you can do it in 5 years. Now that means working you know what off. And I mean working your you know what off. Most of you are not going to want to get to that level. You just want to make a really good living. But this will give you the systems and models on how. It gives you the path. When I got into real estate, here's where you guys don't know how this is different. Most agents who get into this business get little to no training. It is literally figure it out for yourself and hope you survive. And you're like, what? That was my experience. I had 2 days of training. Because remember, your license, everything you learned in classes, that's not applying to real life building a business and being successful. That's just to pass the exam and to please the real estate commission. That's all it is. There's stuff in there you will never use again. All that math, I've never used it.
No.
Oh, she knows. She knows. She's just trying to get you to pass the exam.
Yeah.
She knows. But she's vital because without her, we're not going to pass that nasty exam.
How do you manage your time? It's like, you have to put too much time when you start something, you start a business. Like manage your time with your family.
Mm.
Like, because
You
that is a
block
lot of
families
problems
with
sometimes for a lot of people, like making their partner supposed to understand how much work it takes to start
Mhm.
something.
Well, I mean, my husband said, I know this is occupying your time, but from 7 to 8:30 at night, can we just have dinner and you not be on your phone? Like, that's fair. So you have to make that effort to block out family time also. Yeah.
And you have to get their buy-in that you're building a new business. because it is intrusive.
Yes.
Being self-employed is intrusive. I'm not going to lie to you. Yes, I had more flexibility at times with my schedule. When people say, "Yeah, I want to control my schedule. I want to be in charge of my schedule." Oh, honey, you go under contract. You have no control. You have timelines.
And other people's timelines.
You have
There's
timelines.
pressures there.
You can't say, "Oh, I don't want to," or "I don't feel good today," or I'm going on vacation. You can't. I hear agents say that. We'll contact them and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm on vacation." No, you've got a live listing and we need information.
Yeah.
And you can't get hold of them the next day because they're in the mountains. They have no signal. And you're like, "What?" Somebody needs to be watching your business if it's not you. You can go on vacation, but you have to make sure your business is being handled. So here's what I will tell you. One of the most important things is get their buy-in and their support on this journey. Because here's where I see happen, especially with married couples. I've seen this. It happened. One gentleman quit his job. He actually worked for like the FBI and he retired early. And he wanted to get into real estate. His wife had the expectation he'd be making money in 90 days.
That'd be nice.
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be lovely? Sometimes we get lucky and it happens, but it's not statistically guaranteed. And at 90 days, she said, "Go get a job." And he had to because they weren't on the same page of what this journey looks like. So you've got to have them understand, this is what I'm doing. Here's how I need your help and support. And you have to carve out the time with your family. You guys probably haven't heard me tell the story when my daughter at 10 years old took me down in the car, verbally took me down. I would go to pick her up after school, after care. I'm on the phone. Blah, 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 blah. We get in the car, I'm on the phone. Every time I'm on the phone. One time I'm in the car, I get off the phone and she just lights into me and she says, "I hate your job. You're always on the phone. I hate your job. I hate what you do. You're always on the phone." I'm like, "Oh, bad mom moment. I fail,
feel so
fail,
bad.
fail, fail." I'm like, "You are the worst mother ever." So I had to negotiate with a 10-year-old and say, well, and I'm glad. I mean, I'm a workaholic. That's just my natural tendency, and it's not something to brag about because it has caused me not to always focus on my family with enough time that I should. Because I'm like, "Oh, I gotta take care of this. Oh, I gotta take care of that."
Same way. Like you're working like the whole week.
Yes.
Stuff.
So I had to say to her, "Here's what I'll do, honey. When I pick you up, I will not be on the phone. When we're in the car, I will not be on the phone. However, there may be times that I have to be, but I'm going to let you know that I need to take this call or I need to make this call because it's something urgent. Is that okay?" She said, "Okay." But she monitored me. She was monitoring me big time. She'd be like, "Mom?" And I'd be like, so don't be me. Also, I'll tell you a story that still upsets me greatly. My mom was in hospice. And I was the major bread earner in our family as an agent. And I had these buyers that were a lead. And I kept showing them houses and they wouldn't sign a buyer's agency with me. Back then, we didn't have to.
Have one first.
We were to have it. But I thought, oh, they'll use me. They'll use me. And I should have been with my mother. But I was scared about I needed to make the money. But I should have recognized those people were not committing to me. I shouldn't, unless they were hiring me, then I needed to be with my mother. So again, don't be me. And I will tell you, being self-employed, you will face those moments where you're struggling between the business and your family. And your family's should be there forever, hopefully. And so we have to honor and find time and quality time with them. I've gotten yelled at my family for being on vacation. Disney World. Guess who was on the phone the whole way on the drive to Disney World? Every time she had a signal, I had 4 deals going on. Boom, 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 boom. Guess who, when we check into Disney World, I say to my family, go ahead, I'll catch up with you. Bad. I am not your example. Do not be me. I had to learn the hard way of what it does and how it hurts your family to not be present with them. And I should have had somebody really watching my business so that I could spend time with my family.
It happened to me this weekend with my husband
Mm.
on Friday, and I posted on Facebook, but on Friday, he had a life-threatening illness, didn't know it, and it affected him. We were at the ER. I was planning open houses all weekend. And we went in Friday, got the call from the doctor, said, hurry up to the hospital. We got
Oh.
there, spent Valentine's Day in the hospital. I was posting, I was posting on media, this is us. But he was shocked that I was with him. And I was like, come on, you almost died. You're what?
Right.
And his belly
Right.
hurts. Where else would I be?
Look,
And he's like, I understand. You could be out there trying to do it. I do want to do something else, but.
Yeah, well.
I need people here.
It's
and
it's getting better,
I
so you
went
know.
home to change clothes and I saw the light on at the house that shouldn't have been. And I'm like, somebody left at 2 o'clock in the morning. There's a light on at the house. I could see it from where I was. And I'm like, I gotta get back to the hospital. So I'll worry about that light later. Let me hurry up and get back to the hospital and make sure he knows. And he was shocked I was there. Come on. Come on. So it happens and they'll understand. He has not liked that even though I'm semi-retired from my main job, that I'm still doing this. But I said, this is what I want. And when you're off work, I'm with you. So we
Yeah.
try to arrange it.
And that's why you have to have a community of other agents. You have to have peer partners because you can't do this all by yourself. You need to be able to say if something like that happens and you can't do that open house, but your seller is expecting it, then you've got somebody to turn to and say, hey, Mitzi, could you cover that open house for me? Hey, Edgar, can you step in for me?
Anytime, by the way.
See, you
You love
have.
I knew someone
You love-
posting that yesterday.
Yeah, they needed somebody to go show or do something for them because you can't be everywhere and sometimes life gets in the way and you have to attend to life and your business is important and you can't let down clients. That's why you need other agents. It takes a village. You will not be able to run your business all by yourself. You think you are, but you can't. Otherwise, you'll never be able to be sick and you'll never ever go on vacation. Being self-employed is lovely and dangerous,
Mhm.
right?
Actually, every time I get sick, the way I, get out of my bed, like, I don't have time to be sick right now.
I know.
What do you think?
Anymore, I get mad. I'm like, who gave me this? I'm really pissed at you. I don't have time for this.
Second time I got COVID, I was at home in bed with my computer on my lap,
Yeah,
Oh.
me too.
still working. I mean, when you're self-employed, you have a very different mentality.
But you have to be careful because actually I remember when I was sick and I was the broker here and productivity coach. Because when I started, I never had a day off.
Yeah.
Because you're on call
All the
completely
time.
when you're a broker, so I never had a day off unless I went out of town for work.
Yeah.
Because then I was divorced and I was single. I wasn't going on vacations. I was just working. Yeah, I remember being really sick and giving the wrong advice to someone.
Sure.
So I should have said, I need somebody to cover for me because I'm sick. So recognize there's times you need to hand things over because you can't make good decisions or you're just not up to it. Build your database. Again, you're starting with the people in here. You're starting with the people in here. And for me, you keep everybody who's in here goes into command unless Olivia, you would never want to do business with them. And so then don't put them in your database. If there's somebody that you don't like, they're in your phone, but you don't like them and you would never want to work with them, don't put them in there. Or it's somebody who has said to you after you have contacted them, let them know you're in real estate, they say, no, I'm good, take me off your list. Okay, then I will.
They have to unsubscribe them if they want to unsubscribe to your emails and stuff.
Or they tell me they're working with another agent, then I take them off. Otherwise, you stay in here in my database forever.
Yeah.
Because I never know when your timing will be to buy or sell a house. I can't predict that. Now, we do have indicators, like we do know if somebody is in a house 10 to 12 years, that's kind of the sweet spot when they're most likely to move. But it's not going to be everybody. But that's where the highest percent of people would be wanting to move and then move, sell, and buy. So I can know some indicators, but I don't know what everybody is in everybody's head or what's going on in their world. So you're going to start with your family, your friends, past colleagues, regular interactions. And remember, everybody's in here may not be everybody who's on your social media. Go through your social media and see who's missing because we don't always have everybody in both places. So make sure you're not missing anybody that's also in your social media.
Legal House in Mexico have a lot of people from my social media.
I have a lot of people in
A
WhatsApp.
lot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, we have offices in Mexico, Keller Williams offices. You can get them a good agent and probably work out a referral fee.
Yeah, there's still opportunities to do business with your family in Mexico. We helped Olgie when she was here get a contact in Colombia to help her family sell their condo in Colombia.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, KW's all around the world,
Yeah, we're literally all over the world.
so keep that in mind.
Yeah, so you never know how you can help people. So you got to just tell them and let them know because they don't know. I've shared before, but the people I used to work with became a really great resource for my business. And my daughter's school became a really good resource for my business, along with my database. For my business, the three main sources of business, where business came from was my database, open houses, and internet leads on my listings. That used to be a thing because listings would stay on the market longer. So you had the potential to get people making inquiries on your listings. The market we've been in, not the current one, because now the average, does anybody know what KCRAR said last month was the average days on market?
33 to 40?
It was 58.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was pretty high.
Hmm.
That's the highest we've been in a long time. Now, I think it's because it was January and we had all that weather.
Yeah.
So I think, and weather does impact business, and how active, but,
Nobody wants to go when it's pretty nasty.
well, they don't want to go see houses. They don't come out of their house. It's just like shopping centers. They don't do, I used to work on the plaza and if the weather was bad, we were dead. 'Cause that wasn't an indoor mall. You have to go outside to go from store to store and you have to go from house to house. So a lot of times the weather will impact us and we had, lots of bad weather in January. So I think that impacted how many houses went under contract on their days on market. But that's important to keep in mind because that tells you, how active people are out there. Remember the essential information that you need. And then I'm big on birthdays. You all get birthday cards from me or from me and the coaches.
You're good at holidays.
I love holidays, so you would get holiday cards from me. I actually do the same things with you guys as far as cards. birthday cards, holiday cards, that type of thing that I did with my clients. Because you're my clients now, our clients. If somebody, all my buyers, I would send them an anniversary card on the anniversary of us buying their home and celebrate. Also gave me a great reason to really talk with them and say, hey, I want to catch up. It's been a year. What all have you done to the house? Did you paint that room that you said you didn't like the color of the paint? Or did you do anything to the kitchen because you were talking about this or that? So I'm going to be all over that. So again, we did this on Tuesday, but I want you coming up today with 5 more people that you're gonna contact. 5 more people in your database, or maybe go on social media right at this moment and find some people that aren't in your database yet and write them down. But who are at least 5 people that you're going to contact in the next 48 hours? Write it down. Either put it on your phone, write down their names. Who are those 5 people that you just need to catch up with? Remember, you don't have to breathe real estate on them heavy, especially if you haven't talked to them in a while. And also, remember what I said on Tuesday? Go ahead and start with people that you're really comfortable with. Here in the beginning, I gave you permission to talk here in the beginning with the people you like and are closest to in the beginning, to build the muscle to reach out to the people you haven't talked to in like 2 years. Unless you're just fine with it and you'll just, some people that won't bother them at all. But I know most of us have to work up to that because we're worried that they're going to remember. James hasn't called me in 2 years, 3 days, and 4 hours. No, they
13
don't.
seconds.
Yeah, and 13 seconds. They don't know. They just know it's been a while. But hey, they didn't contact you either. They've been busy. You've been busy. But think about the people that you really like that maybe you haven't talked to in forever. And it's not because you don't like them. It's just life has gotten in the way for both of you. I've been crazy busy. I have a feeling you have too. What's been going on? I just want to catch up. We haven't talked in ages. I miss talking to you. You know, do that. Think of those 5 people, and they can be 5 people or family and friends or professional contacts. Have you introduced yourself to our in-house lender, Loans and KC, to Alex? Go do that. Have you introduced yourself to the ladies at Platinum Title? Go do that. Have you reached out to any other of our service providers, inspectors, home warranty people? Do that now. Don't wait until you have a client and you're like, who's everybody used for an inspector? Start building relationships now. You've got the time to do it. You'll be in a mad scramble if you wait until you're writing offers and you're under contract and you're in a frantic. Build those relationships now, or you get your first buyer and you're like, I don't know any lenders. Well, lenders come out of the woodwork. Here's the thing I want to encourage you is build those relationships, go over to Loans and KC, because here's the other thing I want to tell you all about that you don't know about, probably about Loans and KC. We're the only agent-owned mortgage company in all of Kansas City. Let that sink in. Agent-owned. That means we have been given the opportunity to invest in this company and get a return on the profits. Now, for you all, you have to be in the business 2 years before you'd be eligible to make a contribution to have ownership. But with Alex, with the hire of Alex, he's going to make that company boom. He's got big ideas of making us one of the biggest in Kansas City. So he's not looking to just service our agents here. He wants to be big enough that agents and clients come from all over. And if he draws clients, then he's going to have buyer leads. And those buyer leads will be going to somebody in the office or somebody's. No smart lender just gives leads to one agent.
No.
That would not be smart. Yeah. So build those relationships and think about in 2 years' time. We're also looking at doing this with a title company
Mhm.
and an insurance company. And you know why we're doing that? Instead of us creating that mortgage company and our office, our David keep those profits, he wants to help you build passive income. Because here's the thing we know that being an agent, the market and other factors can impede your ability to make money. So a slow market, if you have other eggs in other baskets, bring you money. So we already have profit share. Does everybody know what profit share is? You had to name a sponsor when you joined us.
Mhm.
That sponsor will make money each time you have a closing. Now, it doesn't come out, it comes out of what you share with the office. Okay, so you don't feel it. But here's what's interesting and I find remarkable about our company is every month the office pays their bills and then it has profit, right? That profit is divided in two ways. A portion goes to David because he kind of had to put up money and everything to own this franchise, right? And the other part goes to sponsors who had sponsorees who had closings that previous month. Do you know how much money I've made in profit share in 13 years? Goes up every month. Anybody want to
There it is, yes.
just guess? Just guess how much I've made in
10 grand.
You know, a lot more than that.
Awesome.
a lot more
In
than
3
that.
years,
13.
in 13 years,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
150?
Oh, I wish. But you're not really far off.
I also think I was talking to a warning company in the Old Republic.
Mhm.
My
Uh-huh.
seller is using
Chanel.
Old Republic. I told her I
Chanel.
was doing an open house and she sent a kit.
Yes.
So an open house kit that you can use. For the
Chanel's
neighborhood.
wonderful.
So how much do you think I've made? You-
110.
Said
You were
90.
very close. How much did you say?
90.
90. Let me see here. I'm going to put in my code and tell you what my latest number is because I won't get paid. They deposit. Remember you had to sign a deposit thing and you're like, deposit authorization. That was so if you do get profit share, it will be automatically deposited in your account. And we get paid, if we're going to make profit share, we get paid on the 21st of every month. So, ooh, I have gone over. I've made $100,140.
Wow, that's amazing. Wonderful. Nice little retirement.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So it's the
okay.
same idea with the bank, with the mortgage company. It'll be the same idea with the title company. It'll be the same idea with the insurance company that you will have the opportunity to invest in those so you can make passive income. Do you know how much money I would have to have in the stock market to get this kind of return? I didn't have to invest one dime, just time to make $100,000.
Mhm.
I share that, not to brag, but to show you that it's possible that, I want you thinking passive income. When you're self-employed, the more streams of income you have, the better you can weather any storm that's out there, either in your own life or in the economy. Right? So that's a little off topic, but I think it's really good to share with you guys. Building connections when your database is small. Yeah, some of you have small databases. You have maybe 100 or less people in your phone. So, or you're not from Kansas City. That's okay. You're just going to have to go and engage in lead gen in a different way so that you get yourself in front of strangers. But do it in ways that you're going to enjoy. Remember, I had you all think about what kind of activities you enjoy and that you're going to go do. I remember Tyler, yours was basketball. Chris is on Zoom. Chris was car shows. What else? Who else? Olivia, did you have something activity that you would,
Oh, I liked becoming a regular at a place where you can then know the staff, but also.
like a coffee shop or
Yeah,
something like that?
and
Mhm.
then not always be the place you take clients,
Mhm.
so it's just kind of.
Or-
everybody,
Yeah.
There are agents that go work in coffee shops.
like just-
Remember, they have really good stickers to put on your laptops of ask me. Yeah, Jaden's got some really cute, there's lots of swag out there. Just ask me about real estate, or I don't know, there's some really cute. Clever.
The key with BS.
Yeah, I'm the key to the house of
Yeah,
your
mine
dream.
are really cute.
Which one? Say that again.
The only BS I deal with is
Buyers and sellers.
Yes.
I love
So
that.
there's a lot of clever ones, but engage in activities. If you have a nonprofit or a charity that you're passionate about, or your church or what have you, just do that at a high level so that you get involved. But it has to be something that means something to you, because otherwise you're not going to enjoy it and you probably will end up not doing it. So don't make yourself do stuff you don't want to do. I mean, there is some stuff as a business owner that we're going to have to do. But try to do as much that you like as possible, that you can. Building your database as a newcomer, you've got to become a local expert. That's why learning market statistics is important. Look at KCRER every month sends out the fast stats and the market statistics. Are you looking at those? Are you remembering and memorizing those so you can say, here's what the average sales price was last month. Here's what average days on market. Here's how much inventory we have out there, because inventory is growing. You need to know, and the cool thing is, you don't have to go to school for 2 years to be an expert in real estate. You just have to dive into the statistics and get to know the housing in Kansas City and the market, and you can sound like an expert in no time. It just takes dedicating the time to learn that. That's why going on Tuesday tour. Every Tuesday we go on tour to see some of the latest listings that have come on for broker tour. That helps you educate yourself of what the dollar buys in different parts of town. That and to build relationships with other agents and all of that. Strategic networking, again, join networking groups that you're going to enjoy. And then you also have to be proactive. You have to say to people that you meet that you want to get to know better, say, let's have coffee. I'd love to hear more about your business. I'm intrigued what you do. Or I want to have somebody who's a financial advisor that I can refer clients to. I'd like to know more about what you do and how you do it, right? You're building those relationships so that you can build relationships and have more resources to be able to offer people. That's why connecting with local businesses. I think one of the best forms of lead generation, and it's one of the options, is building a small business referral network. I'm going to guess, Edgar, you know other small business owners.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a perfect way to put together a group. Now, it's like, has anybody heard of BNI before? Business Networking International? It's a franchise, and you can buy in to form your own BNI. And what they do is bring in business owners or business professionals in different industries to come together and support each other and give each other referrals. They meet some weekly, some monthly, what have you. You can do your own. It's expensive to be part of BNI, but you can do your own. So, but you only want one person in each industry. You don't want two lenders because again, you're there to support each other and learn about each other's businesses, and then bring in guest speakers to help you all with marketing or with technology or whatever it is. But you have to have a commitment from those people that to be part of this small business referral network, I'll cross market you. Think you could do videos, interviewing them, posting them on your social media, tagging them so it goes onto their account. You get that visibility, but you have to make certain that there's a criteria that they have to refer X amount of business each year. And that if you don't, then you can't continue to be a member. Does that make sense? So that you're really, truly benefiting, not just receiving, you're giving also. And what if you formed your own BNI with 5 to 6 members? 8 to 10 would be ideal, but maybe you start out small. And each of them gave you 1 to 2 pieces of business. That'd be 1 to 2 pieces of business from 5 people you didn't have before. And you're helping them because if it's a business and a business owner that you respect, that you are, and some of these people are going to be people you already refer to, right? Yeah. So now you're just doing it and helping each other. Can you see how beneficial that would be?
That's cool.
Yeah. So for some of you, that's going to be a perfect fit of one of the ways you're going to do lead generation and you're going to help others. And I promise you this, you're learning more about building a business than most of them ever have been as a small business owner. And a lot of what you're learning can be translated into what they do, the marketing, the database. Most of them don't keep a database. It just dumbfounds me that they don't market at all to their customers. They just expect their customers to keep coming back. You can expose them to what you learn here, and it can be pretty amazing. Not now. And then you need that digital visibility. Social media, I know for some of you, a small portion of you, that social media is not going to be your thing, and that's okay. But I will tell you, you can build a big business with social media. Remember, in our office, we have some of the most prominent influencers, real estate influencers in all of Kansas City. We have Franny Knight. She's the pioneer. She's the OG. She is the OG in Kansas City of using social media in a real estate
Who's that?
business. Franny Knight. Franny Knight is in our Waldo office, her team. She has the site Urban Cool KC. That's her site. Go to her social media and you'll see what she posts. Kyle Talbot of the Kansas City scene. Kyle has only been in the business 3 years and has built a phenomenal business all on social media through Instagram and YouTube. And he modeled it after a KW agent who did it successfully in Florida. He went under his wing, Ken Pozak, went under his wing and learned everything he did, and then did it here in Kansas City and built a huge business in 3 years. Just bought a new house that he and his wife are for themselves that they're remodeling and doing in their dream neighborhood. They're very excited. So it can be an amazing component of your business. And we've got the people here that both of them share their knowledge here. Build it through your passion, like I've been talking. Follow your interest, make authentic connections, targeted growth, reciprocal value. You got to bring value. You got to show people. One of the things we talk about, James, is you got to show people that you know stuff they don't. That makes you valuable. You know the market. You know how to price. You know how to sell a house, how to help them buy a house and craft a competitive offer. You've got to show them that you know things they don't, so they have to come to you. That's really important. When you build your database through activities you love, you will enjoy the process more, appear more authentic, and connect with people naturally with your personal brand. Have you all thought about how you want your business to look and feel? Because we'll get into that. One of the classes in Launchpad is about marketing. You've got to think about, what do I want my business to look and feel? Because that's what's cool about real estate. You now get to build a business the way you want it to look and feel. Now, we all have to follow the same laws and regulations, but past that, and do the same paperwork, but past that, this business can look and feel the way you want. What is that? What does that look like? That's one of the things I loved about real estate. I didn't have to follow the corporate mold anymore and take my marching orders from someone else and do stuff that I didn't always feel good about. Now I got to create a client experience that I thought would be exceptional. I got to decide all of that, and I loved that. And that's what you get to do. And I want you thinking about, what am I going to offer? How am I going to differentiate myself? What do I bring to the table that's different than everybody else? And we all have something that's a little different. None of you offer the exact same things. You might offer many of the same things, but then you've got to figure out, what makes me different. Okay, homework. Contact 30 new contacts with complete information to your command by next week, and doing your daily 10-5. Remember what the daily 10-5 is. You're going to contact 10 people every day. You're going to put those 10 people in command, or the additional information you get from those conversations. You're going to, with those 10, you're going to do follow-up. It's going to be a handwritten note or a personal text message saying, oh, loved catching up with you. So excited about your trip to England next month. Can't wait to hear about it or see the pictures, right? And then 5 to 10 social media interactions every day. And then preview 10 properties every week. And if you're going on agent tour on Tuesdays, and if you're holding an open house on the weekend, between previewing on those two opportunities, you should hit that 10 with no problem. Okay, tell me takeaways. What'd you get today? And I'm going to start with Zoom first. Let me zoom out so I see. Okay. On Zoom, my Zoomers, tell me what you got from today. What's your takeaway? I'll call on you. Olivia, since you're here, you're always, you and Connor are so good about.
Yeah.
Jasmine?
Yes, takeaway is adding the contacts to my command, making sure that I'm doing that when I get a new contact, like from an open house, which is a good idea. Or I'm glad you brought that up, because like when I was at an open house last weekend, as the people would sign the sheet, when they left, I would just hurry up and go into my command and put them in right then and there, because I didn't want to forget to do it later on. But you're right, adding them to the calendar and setting time aside to do it is what I need to do also.
Good deal. Good deal. Who else? Chris? Elena?
Yes, thank you. It's not magic. It's math plus consistency for me today.
Yeah. You've got it. You've got it. Definitely. Do I have everybody? Okay. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. I want you thinking about, remember, who are the 5 people in the next 48 hours you're going to reach out to, because we're building the muscle that we do 10 a day, but we're easing into it with 5 a day. Any questions? Anybody in here have an aha to take away, since the Zoomers gave it to me? Shared with us?
I need to figure out what my social media plan will be.
Mhm.
Take a look we will do a class on social media, and also, okay, I see that Chris said he would have been talking, but he was sick. So thanks for sharing that. Tyler, look on the launch Facebook page under files. you're going to see a social media content calendar for 2026. It maps out what you can do every single day of every month. You probably, in the
Facebook
launch Facebook page under files.
Got it.
And it's 2026 social media content calendar.
Okay.
And that's what you need to, that'll give you great ideas. It gives you engagement questions. It gives you quotations that you can post. It's got a whole bunch of stuff. You probably won't use all of it, but it will help you from running out of ideas. And so I would go on that calendar and maybe highlight the ones you want to do and put them on your calendar that you're going to do these things so that you're already pre-planning. And I would do a couple months out so that you already know what you're going to be focusing on.
And
Who
Christian, a
else? Anybody
question
else? Yes.
in this regard. So if we want to host and post and market the events, do we have to register or how does it work?
For my client seminars? Oh, thank you for asking. Okay, I just posted about the client seminars, what the calendar is for 2026. In order to, and I'll be rolling this out next week for our first, so James, one of the things we sponsor here in our office is 4 client seminars for you as a agent to host. Their home buying seminar, home selling seminar, downsizing and investing, real estate investing. It is so that we do all the heavy lifting. So all you have to do is invite people and be there that night. But I'll have a professional expert panel. I'll create and provide all the graphics, all the marketing. I have a whole marketing strategy that you'll be able to plug. So Elena, you can start, here's what I would do right now before I roll out everything for the buyer seminar, which is our first one up this year. I would go ahead and post that save the date graphic on your social media to get people seeing what you offer the client seminars, because this is value. This is you offering something that other agents don't offer. And talk about it as this is your seminar. Don't say it's my office's seminar. I just package it and sponsor it so that you can then use it as your own vehicle. So you can even create your own graphics and marketing materials. I don't care. I just try to make it a plug and play for you. So it's easy as possible. And then to get the marketing materials, you must sign up for the seminar, each one. Okay. So when I put out all of that information next week for the buyer seminar, you have to register first as a host. Then you'll get the marketing package so you can start just cranking it out and promoting it. I have like 5 weeks of marketing content for you to use. So this is a great way to reach out and invite people. It's a non-threatening thing to do with people that you know and with your database and leads. Say, hey, this is something that I host. And we have this upcoming. And if they say, no, I'm not interested, then you just say, who do you know that this might be of interest? Just pass this on to them. So we do this. I've done this for years. I think I've done this since 2015. And the reason I started sponsoring these is I would see agents try to do it on their own. And it is hard to fill up a room by your own. They would get maybe 2 people. And then they would have invited a lender and other people to be there. They would have gotten some food and all of that. And they'd have 2 people or maybe 1 person show up. And I thought, what if we do it together? And you get 2, you get 3, you get 4, you get 1. We'll fill up a room. And then it looks and it's more fun when we do it together.
Yes.
And it's less stressful. And since I've been doing it so long, I know who the experts are in all of these areas. And yeah, it's just easy peasy. I also, as of last year, started putting together a booklet for all the attendees to take home with them. So it's very much like the student guides that'll just have, you know, the basics of that seminar. But the cool thing is you know, you're not going to get everybody to attend, because, oh, my kids have something that night, or oh, I'm sick, or oh, we're out of town, but they're interested, you'll have a booklet to say, hey, would you like the booklet that was shared with attendees about this, and we can meet for coffee or I can send it to you. So it gives you a reason to go further than that seminar, because it's not just about the people who come, it's also about the people who couldn't come, that you still have an opportunity to continue a conversation with them. So you'll have a booklet to be able to share that is professional looking and is of value. So thanks for asking about that, Elena. Yeah. I love doing these seminars, and they are fun. Here's your price of admission, though, for being a host. You do have an obligation. One is to market it. Don't just sign up and do nothing, because then you will not have anybody. And then the night of, you have to show up. You have to show up even if you don't have anybody coming, because it's also a great social media. You take video and clips from it, you post that on your social media and say, hey, do you want that booklet? This is what you missed. Create some FOMO. Also, it's about you all learning about all of this, right? Because you're going to learn from the panelists. And then I do ask that people, I have a sign up for food, like appetizers, desserts, soda pop, wine, that kind of thing, that we all pitch in and do. So we have some nice snacks for our guests and everything. My investing one is usually the most heavily attended. And we've had up to 90 guests one year, 90. So many people that we barely fit in the training room, both sides. And I had to make agents stand in the hallway because we needed seats for the guests. Yeah. So if you promote it, you will get people. And even if they can't come, they'll say, but Olivia, I am interested in buying a house. I just can't come. Oh, great. Well, we could talk. We could talk, right? And it gives you a reason to keep in front of people that whole time frame. So, yeah. So next week you'll see I'm rolling everything out now that I've got the dates in place. Go promote the save the dates so people can be putting that on their calendar too. And it might cause someone to say, well, I'm interested in this, but I don't want to wait until the seminar. Can we talk sooner? That would be lovely if that would occur. Well, thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So how did you save that image to download it, or you just download it?
No, you can save it as a picture. So if you click on it, in Facebook and click on the photo, then you can right click and save as an image.
Okay.
And then you can upload that onto your social media. Or you can snip it and copy it. But yeah, I do a lot of snippet
Yeah.
in my stuff. But it's there, use it, promote it, get people, yeah, something you offer. And it'll make you not look brand new, because a brand new agent doesn't offer these kinds of things typically, rarely. So be different, be special. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for everybody online. Chris, I hope you
Thank
feel
you.
better. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Hey, Edgar, I was curious, what type of construction do you do?
Do home renovations, additions,
Yeah.
homes, everything.
So